शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We will recite the Dhakshinamurti Stotra with the Dhyana Shlokas and then we will proceed. मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित पर ब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वशिष्ठान्ते वस ऋषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः। आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रम् आनन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिम् ईडे। वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णम् सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात्। त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा। गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः। निधये सर्ववेद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिद्घनाय महेशाय वटमूलनिवासिने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। दुष्टतर्जनीयोग मुद्राव्याजेन देहिनां श्रुत्यर्थं ब्रह्मजीवैक्यं दर्शयन्नोऽवताच्छिवः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्योद्भूतं नित्यं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीवविजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी स्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसकल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात्तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत्साक्षात्करणा भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाच्छिद्रघटोदरस्थितमः दीपप्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य चक्षुरादिकर द्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभात्येतत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमतीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वकमिति भ्रान्ताभृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमः व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामिसम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वाक्येक्षपुरुषो मायापरिभ्रामितः तस्मै तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो नीलोऽम्बरमः नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात् परस्माद् विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात्तदर्थमनना ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तना सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्येतत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् सिद्ध्येतत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम्। ॐ श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। In the first verse, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam, that verse, it was pointed out by the great Acharya that the world of names and forms are, they obtain within the truth, the true entity. Like objects appearing in a mirror. When we look at the mirror, there is a reflection of whatever is in front. When you look at the reflection, it looks as if there are objects. There is variety of objects and there is depth, there is color. Yet, when we know the nature of the mirror, the true nature of the mirror is only a surface. There is no depth. There is no 3 dimensions, only 2 dimensional. There is no front and back in the mirror image, yet it looks as if there is depth, there is variety. Whatever is there in the mirror, it obtains in the surface, alright. This is the example given. So too, the world of names and forms, the world of objects, when we analyze the true nature of this world, the Acharya points out, when you look at the world subjectively, then it is within me, in me. Nija, antargatam, in me, obtains in me. All that I see in the world and all that I experience, that experience happens in me. The seeing happens in me. Even when I relate with a person or with an object, the sense that I am relating, the relator is within. Experiencer is within. And therefore, all that the world, when you look at subjectively, it is in me. In the heart, in the mind, and that is in me. The same world, when you look at objectively, outside world, when you look at that way, then that all obtains in Ishvara, Brahma. That's also my Swarupa, Atma Swarupa, true nature of me, and therefore Nija Antargatam only. Look at both ways, subjectively and objectively, within, without. Either way, it is Nija Antargatam, subjectively in me, objectively in Ishvara, Brahma, and therefore Nija Antargatam. And we look at the true nature of the reflection in the mirror, there is no object in the mirror at all. An appearance is there, but there is no truth, there is no object. So too, here if we analyze, what is there is only Ishvara, there is only Brahmatma. There is no Namarupa enjoying the same reality as Brahmatma. Brahmatma is me, the Paramarthika, the total reality, absolute reality. Whereas all the Namarupa is Kalpita. Atmani Kalpitam. Sarvam Brahmani Atmani Kalpitam Eva. Everything is presented, projected in Atma Brahma. That is pointed out in the first verse. And yes sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. So the world, the experience, the world of names and forms, and the experience of the world is likened to dream and sleep. In sleep, we don't know what is there. We don't know ourselves. We don't know what is there in front of us. In dream, there is the experiencer, and then the objects of experience are there. But the truth of the dream is the dreamer only. The dreamer and the dreamt, the seer and the seen, both obtain in me, the dreamer. And similarly, all the world of names and forms is likened to dream and sleep, inasmuch as in sleep there is no perception of what is outside. That is called agrahanam, not grasping, not seeing, not knowing. That's called agrahanam. In dream, there are very myriad projections, a variety of projections are there, and many of them are not true to their real nature. The dream picture keeps on fleeting, keeps on changing. Right? So I see a person, and then suddenly the person turns into a cow, turns into a mountain or a tree, or suddenly turns into somebody else. It's all in the dream. There is a anyatha grahanam, taking it otherwise, taking it wrongly, incompletely. There is a anyatha grahanam. So in sleep there is agrahanam, which is the manifestation of avarana shakti, we can say. And in dream there is anyatha grahanam, taking it otherwise, not true to what an object is, but anyatha, differently, variously, not true to in the nature. Anyatha grahana is there in the dream. Both are the not, one is no grasping, the other is erroneous grasping, erroneous cognition. And both of them go away in a trice when I wake up. Prabodha samaye swatmanam eva advayam, one who knows. The non-dual Atma, I am alone, the truth of all this. All are kalpita in me, and I am ever free from kalpita. Like in our good old wave, right? The water is ever free from the wave, name and form. The wave, the name and form, wave is kalpita, is presented, is projected on the on water only. Water alone in sum and the substance. Wave is purely an appearance, is a phenomenon, is provisional, transactional, apparent, vyavaharika, kalpita it is. So that is presented in the first verse. And unto that Guru, the preceptor, the teacher, who reveals to me, who makes me understand that I am verily that Brahmatma, unto that Dhakshinamurti, tasmai namaha idam, to Śrī Dakṣināmūrtaye was said. And in the second verse, Bijasyantaryo ityadi, by this verse it was pointed out that Ishvara is everything, Brahma is everything, because Brahma is the cause, presented as the cause for the world. The effect, the world that is effect, is not different from, not other than the cause. We have seen in our earlier discussions, Advaita, you describe Advaita in one word, it is Ananyatva Siddhihi. If you remember, Ananyatva Siddhihi, establishing understanding, that is Siddhihi. Siddhihi, Siddhi of what? Understanding, establishing what? Ananyatva. Na anyat, not other than. Anyat means other. Na anyat is ananyat, not other than. Not other than what? Not other than the truth, the true entity. Like even our pot is not other than clay. Right? Gataha mrittikayaha ananyaha. Right? not different from, not other than clay at all. In whatever way look at, even if one doesn't know, even if one were to forget that it is clay, it remains, pot remains clay only. My knowing or not knowing does not change the fact that clay is clay, pot is clay. Right? And in clay there is no potness. This does not change even if I know, even if I don't know, even if mistake, it doesn't change the fact. But it matters to me that I know it correctly. It does not matter to clay, but it matters to me. So too here, all the effect, that is the prapancha, the world of names and forms, cannot be other than its own cause. And what is that cause? Ishvara Brahman. We say Jagat Karanam Brahman. Whatever that is Jagat is there, and Jagat cannot be without a Karanam. Without a cause there cannot be a manifestation, a phenomenon, and therefore Jagat Karanam. That Jagat Karanam is called God, is called Ishvara. The cause of the world, universe, is called Ishvara. It's a word to describe Ishvara. Jagat Karanam Brahma. Okay. And therefore the Jagat is not separate from, in any time, at any time, in any manner, it is not different from the cause. That is settled here by Acharya give an example here. Bijasya antaha. So a tree, before it sprouts, before it grows, where is it? Where is the tree? In a seed, right? It's all there. All the aspects, all the subtle aspects necessary for a tree to grow, tree to manifest, it's all there in the seed. The tree is an unmanifest form, unmanifest state, we can say, in the seed. And then it manifests, comes out with all its branches and twigs, flower and fruit. It manifests, and then where is the tree? Before it grew, where is the tree? It's in the unmanifest form in the seed. And then later on it goes back. From the tree another bija comes, then bija ankura nyaya, like that. This prapancha, this universe comes into manifestation at the time of creation, srishti kale, sthiti kale. At the time of srishti and sthiti, the world becomes manifest. And then laya kale, pralaya kale, at the time of dissolution or resolution, goes back into the unmanifest state. So unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest, manifest. This cycle goes on endlessly. This goes on, and that was pointed out. Bijasya antaha iva ankuraha. All right. And the Acharya pointed out the limitless powers obtaining in Brahma, in Ishvara, to manifest, to create, to sustain, and to take unto itself the world, the Shakti. Like even a Mayavi, a magician's power. Okay. Generally, magician performs a trick. Okay. It's usually a sleight of hand, it's a trick. But it's said that there were magicians who had real magical powers, who can change thing into another, create, manifest things, like great yogis, Mahayogi, Mayavi, like a magician, Mahayogi, like even Vishwamitra Maharishi, who could create a heaven, who could create a heaven, who could create a Swarga, Trisanku Swarga, he could create. And then we hear about Kashyapa Maharishi, right? Creating things. Also, Mahayogis, the great tapasvis, gain those extraordinary powers to create. So, like that, even though we do not see Mahayogis, we do not see, but magicians we do see, enough for us. So, Mayavi iva, Mahayogi iva, yaha vijrumbayati, who brings into manifestation. And unto that Swechaya Vijrumbayati, by one's will, which is also called as karma. Okay? Ishvara Ichha is Maya Shakti. Ishvara Ichha is the Prani Karma Phalam. Samashti Karma Phalam and Vyashti Karma Phala. The individual's Karma Phala and also the total Karma Phala. There is creation, there is experience. So Ishvara brings up, creates this, projects this universe unto himself, on himself, and then manifests as this world of names and forms. Unto the Dhakshinamurti, unto that Guru who makes me understand that all this world is non-separate from Brahmatma, which is me, unto that Dhakshinamurti Namaha. That's the second verse. Alright. And in the third verse, we can say that the first verse dwells mainly on the Tvampada, we can say. And the second verse dwells on the Tatpada, Vachyartha and Lakshyartha also. Then in the third verse, the Aikya, the oneness of Tatpada and Tvampada, as it obtains in the Mahavakya, the great teaching, the central teaching, Tattvam Asi. Right? The third verse, the Asi Padam, the word Asi is the highlight. It is said. This also we saw. Yasya eva Spuranam Sadatmakam Asat Kalpa Arthagam Bhasate. The Chaitanya, the consciousness, which is the truth, which is Atma, that alone obtains in the as the existence of all objects, existence of me, the individual Jivatma, and existence of my body, existence of my mind, my senses, my experiences, my interpretations, my ideas, my notions, my errors, my understanding, right? Stula and Sukshma, Karana, as all, that which manifests as all, and then it is only the Brahmatma, Chaitanyam alone, the Sat alone, the existence, the truth alone, Sat alone, Chit alone manifests as all everything. Yasya eva Spuranam Asat Kalpa Arthagam Sadatmakam Bhasate. Spuranam is Sadatmakam, the true nature of Sat, but it obtains in the various Nama Rupa. For the person, an individual, it looks as though the objects exist. Ishvara does not exist. Objects I see, Ishvara I don't see. Right? That is the perception. But on analysis we find out that what is there is only the content, the substance, the cause alone is there. The effect merely is a projection, is a kalpita. Like even the clay pot. Clay is the substance, is the content. Pot is only a form. And we give the name pot for our transaction purposes. Therefore, pot is not the entity, clay alone is the entity. And then therefore, when we understand the truth of the pot disappears in terms of reality. Not for perception. The pot perception continues, right? I continue to see the pot, but I understand that it's only clay, right? Therefore, that if I commit an error earlier, what is there is in front of me is pot and pot alone. Pot is an entity. Pot is the truth. That error, that ignorance stands corrected when I understand that what is there is only clay. So too, when I think that I am the Jivatma, I am an individual, I am different from everything, I am limited, I have my own pluses and minuses, I have my own likes and dislikes, raga, dvesha, I have my own pleasures and pain, sukha, dukkha, and I have my limitations, parichinnaha, and I have my own incompleteness, apurnatva, etc. all are there. And then in order to fulfill my sense of, to remove the sense of incompleteness, apurnatva, I go about, I desire to become Purna, be free from my apurnatva, that is Kama. and then I do variety of things in order to, in my attempt to become full. That is karma. Avidya, kama, karma. This avidya chain is the parampara, is the avidya, kama, karma parampara. And then karma pala, and then karma pala brings again punarjanma. Janma means samsara here. Samsara continues. But then that dispels, that goes away when I understand the truth that the jivatmatvam is kalpita. Being a jivatma, that is kalpita. It is provisional, transactional, but that is not the truth. What is useful, all right. What appears, all right. What continues to exist in time, all right. But that is not the matter. That is not the content. In spite of its being useful, in spite of its continuity, what is not the substance, what is not the truth, clay alone is the truth. So too, I, the Chaitanya alone is the truth. I, Brahma Atma, is the truth. My being Jivatma is merely a projection happening because of Maya and or Avidya. Okay? When I take myself to be a Jiva alone, different from everything else, then there is Avidya at work. My ignorance at work. Ignorance of what I am really. Ignorance of the truth of this prapancha. Being Brahmatma, that is at work. When ignorance is at work, I have told you, error, there is error. Ignorance at work is error. Right? Avarana coming into play brings about vikshepa, errors. Brahma it brings about. So all that stands negated when I understand. It's not enough that I am informed, but I really grasp, I really understand. Like even, it is not enough that I just eat food, but the food needs to be digested, assimilated. So too, when I understand the truth of me, then there is no more error, mistaking myself to be merely an individual, subject to all the buffeting by the sukha dukkha, circumstances, helpless, right? Anisha bhava, that helplessness, smallness, that's all goes away. There is no suffering. There is only truth obtaining in the person's mind, and that truth reflects in the life of the person. Throughout the life, every moment, in each transaction, in each experience, and in every moment, the truth permeates, the truth pervades, right? The truth is vyapta in all the vyavahara of this wise person, who now is called a Jivan Mukta, a person who discovers and who owns and who lives the freedom, the total freedom. The freedom is, as I said earlier, the freedom is within, total freedom is only within, there is no total freedom outside at all. Any freedom outside is always limited by circumstances, right? So you cannot expect total freedom of expression, there is none. Like no speech, freedom of speech is limited, has to be limited, has to have limitation. Freedom of action has to be, is limited in as much as there is the other person's freedom also, right? And therefore, external freedom is always limited, always limited. Even if I am the emperor of this entire universe, still it is limited, right? Therefore, freedom of external freedom is always limited. It is very important to note, right? People think that there is freedom outside, there is external freedom, total. It cannot be total. It's always limited. But the freedom within, after all, even if I am free, suppose I have no shackles and then I am free to do anything. But if I have to feel free, right? I have to know, I have to understand that I am free. Then only I have freedom. Even if I were to be totally free and then I feel miserable, then I am not free. Right? But suppose they put me in a cell and still I'm not bothered about being within a cell. I am free. Right? Externally I am bound. Right? But within I have discovered the freedom. Therefore, like happiness, freedom also you discover only inside, and that is total. And therefore, the person who discovers that lives in fullness. and radiates. Any transaction, when I interact with that person, I partake of that happiness, of that cheer, of the hope for me to discover that, and therefore Acharya says here, yat sakshat, what is it, sir? Yat sakshat karanat bhava ambonidau punaha avrittihi na bhavet. Right? There is no coming back, there is no continuation of the smallness, sense of limitation, being subject to sukha dukkha, that is not there. This is called samsara. That samsara doesn't continue, does not come back in any form. Even an iota of samsara, it's not there at all. Okay. So the third verse highlights the asipada, the aikyam, the oneness of Brahma and Atma. Okay. Now in the third verse it was said, yasya eva spuranam, right? Yasya eva spuranam sadatmakam, whose true nature is Sat, that is eternal, the truth, and that is Spuranam Chit. So that is said here. Now Acharya elaborates this Spurana in the fourth verse. Nana Chidra Ghata Udara Stita Maha Deepa Prabha Bhaswaram. I am just giving the sandhis first. Nana Chidra Ghata Udara Stita Mahadeepa Prabha Bhaswaram. Gata Udara, Gata Udara, that Gunasandhi is there, alright. Jnanam Yasya Tu Chakshuhu Adi Karana Dwara Bahihi Spandate Janavi Iti Tam Eva Bhantam Anubhati Etat Samastam Jagat Tasmai Śrī Gurumurtaye Namaha Idam Śrī Dakṣināmūrtaye. Alright. There is even though many of these points, discussions we have already seen in our earlier classes, so it is here. I am a conscious person. I think, I know that I am, and then I have feelings, I have experiences, and I can see, I can hear, I have eyes, my eyes see, my ears hear, my mind thinks. So there is the seeing happens because of the eyes. Hearing happens because of the ears. If I don't have eyes, I can't see, and therefore Anvayavatireka. Okay, eyes are there. Of course, having the power to see, eyes are there. I see. Eyes are there, not there. The Shakti, the power is not there. I don't see, and therefore seeing happens because of the eyes and eyes alone. So too, hearing happens because of ears alone. Thinking, experiencing happens because of the mind alone, and therefore, and they are independent. Eyes are independent of ears, ears are they are independent of mind, meaning mind is ears hear, but then mind can think. So they are independently existing lights, as if they are lights. They throw light. Eyes throw light on a form, color. Ears throw light on the sounds. So too they are disparate lights. Eyes hear, mind thinks. So they are sentient, capable of knowing, capable of revealing their own objects on their own. This is a doubt. Have you seen Kenopanishad? All right. So the mantra says, no? Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Acharya Shankaracharya raises the question here. Why this question? Yan manasa na manute ye nahuhu manomatam Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Yat chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshumsi pashyati. All that. Because of which one sees objects, but through the eyes, because of which the eyes are capable of seeing, but that which eyes cannot reveal, and that alone is Brahma, right? It's not revealed by eyes or ears or even mind. There is a mention of, there is there. Now, when it comes to mind, yan manasa na manute, that which is not revealed by the mind, grasped by the mind as an object. When I see a flower, I am the seer. This is the object of my sight. This is seen. There is an instrument of seeing. So when I think of a flower, the flower is an object of my thought, different from me the subject, me the thinker. Right? And of course mind is the instrument for this thinking. So here the object of thought is a drishya, jnaya, right? It is different from me the drashta, drik, and the jnata. So too, can I see Brahman? Can I see Atma? Can I see Ishvara, God, with my eyes? Can I think of God on my own as an object like a flower? The Shastra points out very categorically, no. It is unlike everything. As Swamiji says, unlike everything. Anidam, this is. Idam, this, meaning object. Drishya, jnaya, it is. Drishya means what is seen. When we say it is seen, that automatically implies that it is different from me, the seer. Like even the flower is seen is different from me. I am different from this. I don't become the flower does not become me. Suppose there is a distinction between the drik and the drishya. The thinker and the object of thought, they are different. Can I see Ishvara, Brahma, Atma like I think of a flower? Many people think so. Okay? Many people think that way. I can see Ishvara. I can think of Ishvara on my own. Apne aap, on my own the mind can grasp. Maybe not when I am active, when I am disturbed, but when I go into meditation, I can grasp, I can see Ishvara or a light, whatever in various form, I see it as an object. Okay, people think. It is one thing to have vision, okay? Great people have some visions of Ishvara form, but then that is not the Paramarthika Swarupa of Ishvara. That is not the Paramarthika Swarupa. See, suppose I had a vision of Ishvara in some form, okay? Ganesha appeared in my dream, say, or Ganesha suddenly manifested before me. I was awake, right? But then, before Ganesha manifested, I was there. Okay? Then, before that moment, Ganesha, the form, that appearance, vision was not there. And then, when I see Ganesha, Ganesha is there. But then after a while, Ganesha vanishes from my sight. Like Krishna vanished from the sight of the gopis, right? So, Ganesha vanishes. What happens to me? I am still there. Okay? Before Ganesha vision, I was there. After Ganesha vision also, I am there. And in between, when I saw Ganesha also, I am there. So who is Nitya here? Who is the permanent one? Not the Ganesha form. So that is Anitya, okay? Impermanent. Ishvara is not impermanent. But Ishvara appears in all impermanent forms, yes, like even water appears as waves. Therefore, an apparition, a view, a vision, a dream, etc., God manifesting, etc., is anugraha, is a blessing because of my punya, my tapas, my punya, my karma phala. That strengthens my shraddha, my faith, my trust, right, in what the Shastra says. And that validates my shraddha. Yes, there is Ishvara, right? How do you know? Yes, I had an experience. That much it helps. And many a times it helps resolve a lot of questions, lot of knots in the heart. Hridaya Granthi is there, no? Lots of, not every, but lots of. It will not resolve all the knots in the heart, but it will resolve quite a number of knots in the heart, and it will loosen lot of knots also. So in that way, such visions, such appearances are very, very a great blessing. They are useful. Nevertheless, that is not the final truth. So, if I see Ishvara as other than me, that perception, that understanding is incomplete. That's what the Upanishad says. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yat idam iti upasate. Right? In upasana, in meditation, normally, in our puja and all that, it is normally taken that the object of puja, the object of meditation, Ishvara, is other than me, the meditator, the pujaka. It is normally taken. That is only provisional till I understand that the pujya and the pujaka, the worshipped Ishvara and the worshipper me are one and the same. Till I understand that, that is only for the sake of understanding, help me understand only. That is not Paramarthika. And therefore, Ishvara is not an object. Brahma is not an object. Atma is not an object other than me, the seer, thinker, feeler, etc. Therefore, it is pointed, it is, people think that Ishvara is other than me, is not here. A lot of ideas are there, erroneous ideas are there. And I am conscious being, right? I am sentient. Apne aap, on my own I am a sentient being. So there are ideas. Acharya negates those erroneous ideas. I am sentient because of consciousness. Chaitanya being there, I am conscious. I am a conscious entity. I, the jiva, the seer, thinker, feeler, experiencer, is there because of the Chaitanya. Right? Because of Chaitanya. And who is the Chaitanya? I am the Chaitanya. That is my Vastava Svarupa. That is my true nature. And my being merely a seer and experiencer is merely temporary, is only kalpita, and that is not my true nature. Experiencerhood is not my true nature, because of which I am the experiencer, that is Chaitanya. That is my true nature. How do I know that? Because even without that experience, a particular experience, I am. And when there is no experience, also I am. No particular experience, also I am. Therefore, I am is always there, but then experiencerhood comes and goes. It varies, but then me the Chaitanya is the invariable, me the experiencer is variable, and therefore I am the invariable, not the variable. The invariable me, Chaitanya, appears as the experiencer, the variable. There is no problem. Like even the invariable clay appears as now as this part, now as the other part, and as having big part form, no part form, etc. Clay is invariable, pot is only variable. The truth is that always the invariable, never the variable. Apparently, the variable is seen, the variable is useful, variable enjoys a continuity, but we have seen earlier, continuity is not the criterion of truth. Usefulness is not the criterion of truth, right? Therefore, what is the criterion of truth? Once known correctly, it never changes. Known properly, known correctly, understood correctly through the valid pramana, then it never undergoes, never changed, never becomes otherwise, never taken otherwise. That is the Sat. Okay? And therefore, you remember in the Gita, no? Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. In that Bhashyakara brings in a very beautiful, very crisp definition of what is Sat, right? And what is Asat. Very, very important. It's worth going through. It's worth remembering that. So, Sat is that which is abaditam. Once known as correct, never subject to sublation, negation. That is Sat. That is the invariable. I am the invariable Chaitanya. Right? Me, Devadatta. You, Yajnadatta. Me, male. You, female. These are all the Upadika. These are all variables. That is not our truth. Me being a female is not the ultimate truth of me. Me being young, me being old, me being a Easterner, Westerner, me being a caveman, that is not the ultimate truth of me. Me being ignorant, me being a very intelligent fellow, shrewd fellow, that is not the truth of me. The truth of is because of which I am shrewd, because of which I am a caveman, right? That invariable Chaitanya I am. That is driven home here in this shloka, Nana Chidra Itya. Here Acharya gives a very beautiful example. Nana, many. Chidra, holes. And then there is a pot, a big pot, a vessel, a container having many holes. Nana Chidra Gata. Nana Chidravan Gata. A Gata having many holes. Imagine a potter. I asked the potter, hey potter, make a pot, a special pot with many holes. So he has made for me. And Chidra Gata Udara. In the middle, in the belly of the pot, meaning in the middle of the pot, inside the pot, there is a Mahadeepa, a big lamp, a bright lamp, oil lamp or electric lamp. I keep it there. I keep it at a distance. Okay. And then when I look at the lamp is burning, it's very bright, but then it looks as though I see there are many spots of light, right? Light coming through, radiating through the holes. It radiates the holes also, illuminates the holes also. It appears as if there are so many lamps there, lights are there, right? So apparently there are many lights. It looks as if there are many lights. And those lights are self-luminous. And those lights throw light on the objects outside. It looks, but the truth of the matter is that there is only one light inside and not visible to me now. I don't see the lamp, I don't see the flame, I may not see, but then that it comes out through the holes and which is taken. That light is taken to be the light of the various holes. The various holes are taken to be self-luminous, but then when I go near the pot and I see there are not many lights, there is only one light inside, which was not visible to me from an angle, from a standpoint. But then, because of which all these holes are illuminated, because of which these holes throw light, that is that great light. So too, eyes and ears and nose and all that, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, and thinking, feeling, doing, experiencing, all are all because of me, the Chaitanya. That is a very beautiful example, very solid example. The light, you don't see the light inside, you see only the holes and they are illuminated. They are self-luminous, you think, but then when you go near, you see that, you know the truth that there is only one light inside and that lights up all the holes. So too, one Chaitanya lights up all jivas. The holes can be seen as jivas, various jivas, me and you, the cow and the buffalo, the horse, okay, an insect, a tree, right, devas, asuras, all sentient beings, small and big, okay, all they can be seen as holes. So it is one Chaitanya which lends sentiency to all beings. Also, for one person, for one entity, eyes and ears, the light of the eyes, the light of the ears, is because of the light of consciousness. Here the word light is only an example. That is, it's light. Consciousness is not light. Okay, the light is only for an example here. Familiar, light is familiar, and therefore the word light is used here. The light of consciousness lights up the light of ears and eyes and every living being. Therefore, a beautiful example. Nana Chidra Gata Udara Stita Mahadeepa, a bright lamp, and then Mahadeepa Prabha. Prabha, no? The word is Prabha. Prabha is the ray of light, illumination, and then Bhasvaram, illuminating, lit up by the ray of light of this great lamp. that lights up all the holes. So to I, the Chaitanya, I light up my eyes and ears and my mind, and I, the Chaitanya, light up me, this Jiva, you, that Jiva, I light up all this. That is said here. And then further the elaboration continues. We will continue the next class. We'll chant the Mauna Vyakya Dhyana Shloka alone and then Purnamada. Om Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam Vashishtante Vasat Rishiganai Avratam Brahmanishthaihi Karakkalita Chinmundramanandarupam Swatma Ramam Muditavadanam Dhakshinamurti Mide. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Sishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.